This is Specular. One LED, infinite possibilities like you've never seen before. We created Specular with enough light to match 4 regular LED panels. We also made it with professional level CRI, accurate daylight temperature, and extremely strong build. Specular, the only light you need.
Hello everybody, welcome to an unbelievable presentation. We have with us today Martin Rosete, by way of Spain, and today living in New York City already for 10 years, working as a DP there. Martin has amazing work. You guys can check out his website, Camille Films. Is that right, Martin?
Yeah, that is the production company that I have with my brother
awesome.
in Spain.
Okay, so you guys you have some just ridiculous work, and I'm very happy that we were able to get you on today. I got a peek at this presentation, and there's going to be a lot of gold in here. I think it's really going to help a lot of people with with their endeavor in trying to get that first feature film off the ground, which is just going to be an unbelievable topic. So why don't you give us a quick? I always like to start with a 60-second kind of real quick, how you got started, how you got in the business, a little bit of your background in the film, in film production, and then we'll jump into the presentation.
Cool. So yeah, I've been interested in telling stories pretty much forever. And so I went to the university to study audiovisual communication in Madrid. And over there, I shot a couple of short films that did very well in film festivals, won a lot of awards. And then I was lucky to get a scholarship to go to study to Cuban film school. Okay. And then I got a full tuition scholarship to come to study to New York. That was 9 years ago, almost 10 years ago now. And yeah, then I decided to stay here because I felt that I could make movies like... my ideal is to make movies in between my country, Spain, and the US, and that's what I'm doing. I have a production company in Spain called Camille Films, and I have another one here with my partner in the US. So we are doing international co-productions.
Amazing. So I mean, it really from that little quick overview, it really shows that your emphasis on education, on the education side of things, really learning the craft.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel that it's important to at least know the basics and meet people with the same interested in the same stuff that you have. So I felt that in Cuba and New York and Madrid, I had the opportunity to meet a lot of people that were important in my career, and so that was important. But at the same time, I feel that when you learn the craft is more when you are outside touring and facing the main problems that you have when you are
right.
On your own,
in the field, in the fire, right. Okay, wonderful. So let's get going. I'm really looking forward to getting into this. I think you picked a lot of very interesting topics within this topic that's going to be very helpful to everybody. So I'm going to let you take over, and I'll be right here with you.
Awesome. So yeah, before making my first feature film called Money, I made a short film called Voiceover, and I wanted to talk about that a little bit because that short film really helped me a lot in the endeavor of making my first feature film. So yeah, Voiceover, it's it is in Vimeo, open to everyone. So if you want to link it to when you put this online, so Voiceover, it's a short film that we made like 3-4 years ago, and it was like super complicated to do it. It's a sci-fi romance story, and it looks like a big budget production, but at the
Absolutely.
We didn't have like a huge budget, but we got like an amazing team, and we were able to put together a very, very cool piece. That helped me a lot to get an agent and a manager in Hollywood. And and in some ways that was the seed to make much easier my jump from these short films to the feature film. So yeah, that short film won over 100 awards. We were in Tribeca. We were nominated to the Spanish Academy Awards. So we got a lot of recognition. And when we decided to put it online in Vimeo, just open, we started to get like hundreds of thousands of views, and I was even contacted by amazing actors, like, you know, A-list actors, basically telling me that they wanted to work with me. And so in a way, I felt much more confident that I was ready to make the jump and make my first feature film.
That's really an amazing story, Martin. And I think the main thing I want everybody to take away from here is that it requires this kind of what's the word I'm looking for here, where you investment in yourself. You invest in yourself and to make something and to go out there and put it out there, and maybe you probably had to spend some money and make it happen. And with that was what got everything going. So it was a investment. It was almost, maybe you can say, a risk, because maybe you know, maybe it would have just been a lot of effort and not got the results. But there's no other option. You have to go out and put yourself out there and hope that it kind of becomes a stepping stone.
It's funny that you're mentioning that, because I always felt that in every project that I made, I had to invest everything. But the thing is that I believed so much in what we were doing that for me it was like, okay, we know not only that we're going to make our money back and probably some profit with this short film, but at the same time, I feel that it's going to be super important in my future and my career. So
now, I don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but are we going to cover maybe a little bit of that on how you were able to recover your investment
with the short film?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
very curious. I think everybody would like to know how can you cover your expenses afterwards.
I mean, it is a Spanish production, so we got some subsidies from Spain.
Okay.
And then, you know, after you get like 100 awards and you get like a bunch of TVs coming on board and buying I would say that even though it's a kind of expensive production, not super expensive, but kind of expensive, and we made probably 3 times what it cost. Wow. So, and yes, I mean, when you win 100 awards, some of them don't have money, but others do have money.
Ah, interesting.
And then with the subsidies and the TVs, I mean, we are still selling the short film to TVs in the UK and many other countries. So, still making a little bit of money here and there. But I have to say that in order to make that short film, we had to put together 4 producers, 4 production companies in Spain. So some of the best producers were involved in that short film.
Yeah.
And so what I mean is that none of us were thinking about making any profit with that short film. We just did it because we felt that it was an amazing story that deserved to be told, and also because we felt that it was going to help us in our careers.
Yeah, yeah. Wow. Phenomenal. Mm-hmm. Okay, wonderful.
Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, after that short film, I told to my agent, I was at WME first, and then my agent moved to UTA, and now I'm with UTA because I love him. And yeah, he started to send me like a bunch of scripts, and also I started to look for other materials. I got a bunch of scripts from Spanish writer who wanted to make international movies, and one day I got 2 scripts from this unknown writer, and I loved them. And it's not very usual because I don't know if you are used to read scripts, but most of the time, you know, what you read is not, can be okay, but you know, my main point of this conversation is like, take all the time you need to find like an amazing story, an amazing script, because that is the seed that is gonna bring everything in the future. So I can tell you that I read probably 150 scripts.
Wow.
And before making the decision of, you know, just choosing money as the script for my first feature film. And I'm not saying that the other 149 were bad, but I got some scripts from my agent that just were huge, or I remember 2 of them that I really loved, and I felt that could be perfect for me, but you know, it wasn't. I mean, when you get a script from your agent, you are probably in a competition with other directors. So yeah, and for those 2 specifically that I loved, you know, I was in competition with huge directors, and at that time I didn't even have a feature film to show, so I couldn't get them. So yeah, because of that, I when I read Money, I felt that it was just the right script for my first feature film for many reasons.
Right. Very practical decision.
And you know, when I was 21 and I was in Madrid University studying, I chose my first short film that it was called Revolution, and it was just one guy in one room with a table, a chair, and a bed, and just with those elements, you know, we were able to build up an amazing. I mean, it was a story written by this Polish writer, Sławomir Mrozek, and I got the rights, and we made that short film, and the short film won like 55 awards in film festivals. And so what I mean is, like, you need to understand where you are, the resources that you have, and then try to maximize all that in a great script that fits what you're looking for to basically give your next step in your career.
Right.
So yeah, my first advice is like, don't rush it. Just take all the time you need to find the right script, because once you have chosen like the script that you are gonna make, I mean, it can take you 1, 2, 3, or 7 years to put it together. So you really need to believe in what you are doing, you know, because it's tough to put it together, and you're gonna find like a lot of difficulties on your way. So you better are 100% sure that the story and the script that you have is something that you feel that deserves all the effort to make it happen.
Right. So it could take years to make it. Plus, there's going to be a lot of difficulties on the way, and you want to make sure you're staying inspired. So pick something that you're completely, you know, excited about.
Exactly. But at the same time, I think that is what I call to be a realistic dreamer. You know, like don't choose something just because you feel that has elements that are near to you or very easy for you to get, but choose something that challenge you in a way, you know. So because probably in the process of making this movie or this short film, if it's gonna cost you, like, let's say 2 years of your life, in 2 years from now you're gonna be a different person, and hopefully you will build like different relationships, and you may have access to other stuff. So just, you know, try to be realistic, but try to, you know, dream big and you know, find the middle point in between those ideas, I guess.
Love it. That's a great advice. Yeah, push it a little bit, but don't overdo it.
Exactly. And then another thing that I would like to point out about the script and the story and everything is that I'm a director, but I also produce everything that I've done basically for my whole life. So it's difficult to find the middle point between, try to make the best movie and at the same time make it as cheap as possible and, get everything that you need in the can and at the same time shoot fast so you don't overspend money. So at the beginning, I had like a lot of stress with all these back and forth. But right now, I think that I'm very good at wearing those two hats. And so my main 2 points right now are like finding a script that is gonna make a great movie, but at the same time, never forget your investors. Mm-hmm. And probably I learned this because I had to invest in everything that I've done so far, including the feature film money. And I think that it's something that it's very good. It's not like you are like this kind of director, author that is going to make this unbelievable movie, but at the same time, I think that it's super important that you keep an eye making something that is going to at least give the money back to the investors.
Right.
Because you need to respect them and basically give back all the trust that they are putting in you and in the story that you want to tell, right? And also, I think that is a wise way of looking at the business, because today you're asking them for money, but you want to make another movie probably in 2-3 years, and if you are able to show not only your investors but any other investor that is out there that your numbers add up, I think that you're going to be able to be in the business for a very, very long time.
Right, and that's interesting. I mean, it seems like this is something that a lot of people forget about. The word investor is basically a business term, right? And you just use the word business at least 3 or 4 times. People don't like to, to discuss this too much because they want to think about the art all the time, and that's wonderful, and that's key, obviously, once you're actually in the thick of things and making the movie. But in the end of the day, it is a business, and it does have to make sense. You put in money, you put in $1, you have to get that $1 back and a little bit more, because if you don't get a little bit more, then what did they do? These people who invested in you. So we don't like to, it hurts to have to talk about it when we're trying to make a film and make it beautiful and great and everything. But in the end of the day, it's also a business.
Exactly. And, at the beginning of my career, when I was very young, I didn't like that much to talk in those terms, but I've learned that is wonderful. It's if you want to keep going, it's something else that you need to take care of, almost as important as the lighting and the production designer of your movie. It's like just another aspect that you need to take care if you want to keep making movies for the rest of your life.
Love it. Yeah. That's such a great point. For the rest of your life is the key there. Like you said, if you do it well, then they'll continue to help you, in the future.
Exactly. So yeah, my next point, it's very also into business, because it's the financing part of an independent movie. And I have to say that with my movie Money, we had a lot of struggles in the financing part, and we did learn a lot of lessons in the process. It took us about 2 or 2.5 years to put together all the financing that we needed to basically pull the trigger.
Wow.
With this film. And if you watch it, it's like very contained thriller, 5 characters, 85% of the time on a house, So you may think, wow, it's a lot of time to put together, a budget for a movie like that. But it's we learned our lessons like step by step. So after I chose the script, we were thinking of making this movie in Spain. We did apply to all the potential subsidies and all the other options that we have in Europe to finance movies, and basically we couldn't get any money. But we had chosen like the location in Madrid, and so we were ready to shoot it there. But the budget that we were getting over there were like very, very high. It was, high. It was over €1 million, and we weren't able to basically put together a dime in the financing. And at the same time, I will get more into this later, but we had like an amazing cast attached at that point, but we didn't have any dollar. So we were very frustrated because we felt that we were ready to go, but we couldn't, basically.
Yeah.
So then, as I said, I'm based in New York, so I went with my short film voiceover to a film festival here. We won the main award, and an actor came to speak with me, and he said that he loved my short film, and he was interested in what I was working on next. So I said that my next project was going to be money, and that I would love to find like an American production partner, because we were having a lot of troubles to make the movie in Spain. So he said, I have the perfect person for you. It's this young American producer called Atit Sahab. And so we met, and it's been a blessing to meet him, because Atit was able basically to understand exactly the scope of the project, and with him we were able to make the movie much inexpensive. I cannot mention the final budget for
Sure, yeah.
contractual terms, but we made it for very, very little money. And
so what was his key role that made the difference? One, from what I'm hearing so far, is he was able to bring the cost down, being creative in whatever ways he was able to do. And then besides that, what other roles did he play that was missing?
So basically, he read the script, he watched voiceover, he said, I want to work with you. I love the script of Money. I think that it's perfect for your first film. And it's a very interesting choice because it's something that doesn't require like a lot of money in post-production or any other stuff. So he said, I think that we can make this movie in New York, basically with whatever budget we have. So he said, why don't we just put one starting shooting day and we go for it. So, he was very brave in that sense, and that made me learn a big lesson also, that we were trying to do it like, the normal way we are used to do things in Europe, like it's getting those subsidies and everything, and basically you don't get it, you don't make the movie. And here in the US it's different because they make movies with the equity money, so they are ready much faster. And for a movie like Money that didn't require like a lot of resources, we were able to just, you know, start shooting like much faster. When I think that after a team was attached to the project, we were shooting the movie within the next 6 months. And obviously my wife and I had to invest money. His family had to invest some money. The writer, who is from Barcelona, also had to invest some money. But with all that money, we felt that we were basically ready to go. And obviously then, as soon as we started, like, you know, getting the right cast and after we shot, like, we had a trailer and everything, we got some more investors on board. But I think that my feeling is that until you are not able to show that you are a profitable filmmaker, it's very difficult to find investors out of your community.
Yeah. So the initial funding to get started came basically from the creators.
Exactly.
Amazing. That just reinforces the need, the necessity to invest in yourself, right? Everybody said, "Hey, let's do this," and everybody put in however much they could, and got started. That's really something fantastic.
Yeah, and you know, I have to say, it's scary, especially at the beginning.
Yeah.
We didn't have any actor attached. We just put the money, and you know how this works. We started to spend money without knowing if this movie was going to happen. You know?
That's scary.
So at some point, it's like, okay, you have just to have faith and believe that magically this is going to happen and it's going to come out great. But it is like, you know, a lot of faith in yourself and in the project and even in the universe, you know, to believe that somehow that is going to happen and you are going to attract the right people and actors and everything to, again, not only make a great movie, but make something that, you know, you can sell.
Right.
Yeah, it's a lot of faith needed. But we had it, and we couldn't be happier of, you know, the result and everything.
That's amazing.
So, yeah, I pointed out that we were trying to find the sub money that we didn't get in Europe. So this movie was financed fully through equity investors, like very small investors, you know, from people who put like 5K. And I think that we ended up having maybe 8 to 10 investors, no more than that.
Right.
And so very close people, you know, what they call the 3F, the friends, family, and fools.
Yeah, I love it.
So yeah, that's another thing, that everybody who invested in our movie were people who, you know, trusted us and loved us and wanted the best for our careers. And that's again why we really wanted to make this movie succeed and, you know, give back their money back and 10 times more if possible, because we wanted to thank all that support.
Right.
And then I wanted to mention 2 more things. Like, one is the crowdfunding.
Yeah.
When we were desperate about basically not getting any money and we didn't see any way of making this movie, we were in conversations with the Kickstarter people and also with the Indiegogo people. And we felt that we could have some options of getting some initial money for the movie that way. But at the same time, we started to get like pretty big name actors. So sometimes if you are not, you know, like super close with the actors or with the agents or everything, it's not so easy to explain that you basically are making a movie with nothing and you need a crowdfunding to raise this little amount. So that can take away some credibility. So even though we were studying that possibility for a long time, we decided not to make the crowdfunding.
Oh, interesting.
And then also we tried the pre-sales. So we went to international sales agencies to see if we can get some pre-sales. But it is like the catch-22, as they call it. Like, you don't have the money to pay like amazing actors like a decent salary, so you are not able to confirm those amazing actors until the very, very last moment, because obviously, they can get like a bigger role in a bigger movie, and it's normal that they may leave you.
Right.
So yeah, and I think that it's very difficult to get money from a pre-sale, like an decent MG from an international sales agency, if you are not in the position to basically pay something decent to an actor, and especially an actor that has some value for the international market. So yeah, we had some options with a couple of international sales agencies before shooting the movie, but at the end of the day, the amounts were so low, and that money was going to come either way after we shot the movie. So we decided to go pure equity with the film.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so the next thing is the crew.
Before we get into this, just I want to say, Martin, interestingly enough, as much as that part is like the less fun excuse me, is the least fun aspect, I got to tell you, I get requests from filmmakers around the world all the time to cover all kinds of topics, and the
Sure.
topic about financing and getting your film finances, almost you'd be surprised, it's like half of the time that's the request. So that was very valuable information to see how you did it and how you went through it and how you went about it, and to learn from your story there, because that's really what ties up a lot of people.
Yeah, and as I said, after trying everything, the only thing that it worked was to take the risk and bet for ourselves and for our project. So
right.
Yeah. Cool. So yeah, so we can move on and talk about the crew and how we decided to choose our people, right? Our team.
Yes, this is going to be very interesting. Yes.
Okay. So as I said, I had done like a bunch of short films, and so I have a lot of people that I've been working with for the last 12 years. And in sound, I have the luck that my brother is my partner, and he's an amazing DP. So he's like my main support when I'm on set, and even in the pre-production. He and I are always like drawing every shot and watching a lot of movies together to see what atmosphere would be better. He's my production partner in my company in Spain, so he's also a producer on top of being a DP. So he's not this kind of picky DP, like the one that is waiting for the cloud to move a little bit. He's super good at what he does, but at the same time, he understands the issues of the production. So when he asks for something, it's just because he is sure of, he's going to need it, and that is going to give a lot of value to the production. But what I'm trying to say is that he fully understands how difficult it is to put together a production company and to put together the financing for a production company. So he's able to bring a lot of value and a lot of beauty to every shot of the movies and the short films and everything that he shoots.
Yeah.
And at the same time, he is always like this kind of guy, holding the production and the team and trying to move fast and taking care of every detail, but, with a lot of strength, making sure that everyone it's moving fast and very concentrated on what we are doing. So I'm very lucky on that, and that's why he's always with me in every project. And also I'm producing to other people now, and I'm always suggesting to bring him to the table because he's an amazing asset for every production.
Right.
And so on top of that, I would say that my main idea was when I was putting together the crew of money was to have a crew as short as possible. And not only because our budget was tiny, but also because I felt that if you had like a tight crew, 100% committed on what they are doing, it's much better than, having like 100 people. And you see some of those productions where a lot of PAs are, sitting down there because they don't have like a bunch of things to do for a while. So I wanted to have like the as less people as possible and the most motivated as possible on the project, because we knew that the salary and the fee that we were going to be able to pay them was little. So it is not something that is going to incentivize a lot of people. So the most important thing for me was to bring people, even if we had to bring them from Spain or other countries, to bring people who knew me and who were truly in love with the project. So just to make sure that they were going to be like 100% trying to do their best, and not only for the salary, but at the same time, when you deal with a production like this, you are not able to give the best food to the people, or we were trying our best, but it's true that we didn't have lobsters to eat every day.
Right.
Yes.
It's a little bit of a like guerrilla filmmaking, as they call it, right?
Exactly.
So
exactly.
It seems like you probably leaned heavier on personal connections and people that knew you and wanted to work with you on your project, things like that, connections you had already built over the years.
Exactly. I think that is the key. And also because they are amazing people, they know their craft. And I think that it's great to keep growing with the same people if that's possible for you. So yeah, it's that was my strategy. I don't know if it's something that can be worthy for everyone, but at least for me, it was great, and I felt like at home, like very. I wouldn't say protected, but like if everyone was taking care of everyone and everyone knew like the limitations of the production,
yeah.
But at the same time, nobody was complaining about them.
Yeah. Wonderful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that it's another thing that we experienced in during the shooting and even the post production of Money. Yeah, we had an amazing team, and also what is very important to me it's that we had an amazing experience because everyone was. I mean, we had a bunch of problems during the shooting, as you can imagine, with all these limitations.
Right.
But nobody was complaining. Everyone was with a smile and trying to find a way to fix the problems. So, yeah, the next thing that I would like to bring up is the casting process. So, this is one of the keys of, yeah, of the key elements to basically to market and sell your movie. And I always say that we could have done exactly the same movie or even better, but without the amazing talent that we got for money, probably could have been like very, very difficult to sell. And thankfully, with the casting we got, it was just the opposite. It was a very easy movie to sell. Thanks for all of us and for our investors also.
This is after the movie is finished and everything, yeah?
Yeah. The selling of the movie was done after it was finished. Not completely finished, but
Gotcha.
yeah. But yeah. So this is a very important advice, and now that I'm producing also movies to other directors that I admire, I always tell them that it's very important to focus on getting the best talent possible, because it's going to make a huge difference in their careers and the way we can sell the movie. And so it's interesting, because when we were putting together the movie of Money, and when we decided to make it with basically whatever money we got, I kept saying, I want to have good actors. I don't care if they are not very well known at all. I just want to have good actors. And I think that I said that because I felt that it was going to be very difficult to attract amazing actors with a movie that had basically no budget.
Right.
So what happened and what I learned through the process was that I basically actors as well as directors and artists in general are looking for interesting stuff, and I think that the script of Money was great. It was contained, but it was a very good, well-written thriller, and that helped a lot to attract the actors. Also, my agent played an important role because he was like convincing everyone that the director that was attached, even though it was a first-time feature film director, was talented enough to make a great movie with that script. And also it was very important to have like Sig de Miguel and Steven Vincent as casting directors, because I mean, they know everybody in the industry and everyone respects them a lot. So when an actor's agent got a call from them, they knew that this was real and this was happening, and this was going to be something worthy to be part of.
Now,
so
how did you get a hold of those casting directors and get them on board? And I'm assuming they weren't working for free, so that's more cost, right?
Yeah, but it's a cost that is totally worthy, because they are gonna bring you like real value to the project. So I think that it's totally worthy to invest in.
So is it mainly their connections, or they have some sort of skill that has to do with actual casting and actors?
I think that, I mean, they had done like tons of movies, like maybe 100 or even more. So wow. Everyone knows them. They are like super well respected in the industry, and I guess that that helped a lot to
right.
to attract.
That's a big tip, big step, big move right there. That kind of makes everything work.
Yeah, exactly. And at the same time, I felt that we were gonna have like hard times trying to bring like pretty well-known actors. But just the fact that we shot the movie in only 15 days,
Oh wow!
I think that was another good point for us, because we were asking them just for very little time of their lives to complete this feature film. So my guess is like, imagine an actor, even if it's someone as talented and as good as Jesse Williams, Kellen Ladd, Jamie Bamber, or Jess Weisler, all the amazing talent that we had.
Yeah.
If they are going to be basically waiting on their chairs for those weeks, or they can be on board in a project like this, I think that they prefer to be working and exercising, and
right.
So that was another big lesson, that when they feel that this is real, this is happening, and it's something that it's gonna take them just pretty little time of their lives. If they feel that it's worthy, they may come on board. So that was another big lesson for us.
Right.
And then another thing, it's that you need to be very honest with the actors and with their teams, in just explain what you can offer to them. I mean, they cannot arrive to the set thinking that you're going to have like a lot of luxuries and things that you cannot offer. So, you need to be honest when you are telling them the conditions, obviously, and telling them that this is a very indie project, but at the same time, you have to create this kind of family environment when they feel like, part of, and you may not have like a lot of things, material things to offer, but at the same time, you really have to show that you care for them and
Sure.
for their work, so you can create this atmosphere where they can feel free to stretch their talent and try different things maybe, and
Right.
basically try to do their best, and I think that worked very well in our movie, and I mean, I'm very proud and I'm very thankful to all the actors that we had and everything that they brought to the project.
Right. I can totally see that it's an important conversation that needs to happen with them.
Exactly, and it's much better to be very honest from the beginning, and not bring them and then they see that it is not what they were expecting.
Right.
So
we call that setting expectations.
Exactly. Yeah. So I think that we covered everything on that I wanted to tell about the casting process.
Okay.
We can move on to the shooting itself.
Yeah. The fun stuff.
That was like a very interesting shooting. It was. Obviously, we plan everything to go super fast. We decided to go with 2 cameras because we knew that we didn't have time to make a lot of takes. So most of the takes that you saw in the movie, probably we did 1, 2, or 3 maximum. And most of them were like very long takes, because one of the things of having great actors on board is that they are able to do like long takes pretty much without any mistake. So, we were super lucky. And I mean, I'm aware that if you don't have like such experienced talent, you may not be able to do this, but we were lucky enough and to get them. And we had like takes of 15 minutes with 2 cameras, and yes, I think that with 2 takes we got pretty much everything that we needed to create the effect that we were looking for. So yeah, I think that especially we you don't have a lot of money, you don't have the possibility to improv much on set. So it's very important to do your homework and be prepared and have like a plan A, plan B, plan C of, if something goes wrong, at least you get the minimum to tell everything that needs to be told in that scene, basically.
Right.
So yeah, I work a lot with my brother on that. So he had like a very clear idea of the lighting and the camera movements and everything. And also, I mean, the whole movie, it's, and you can see that in the logline, it's about these 2 guys who rob money from one place, and then a third person comes on board to reveal that and basically take that money. And so we decided that until that third person come on board, we were going to have like a much cleaner shooting, like, with a dolly or shots on sticks and things like that. And then since that third person reveals like the whole thing, we were going to go handheld. So that creates like a purpose to, so it's something that we were looking for it on the style of the movie. It's something that is more elegant and steady at the beginning of the movie, and then it turns like a little bit more unstable when things turn that way, you know. So, and that helped us also to shoot faster, but it had like a reason, It's not that we were shooting the whole movie handheld because we wanted to go that fast. No, it's like, okay, like we believe that if we go like more elegant at the beginning and then we move to handheld later on, that is going to add something to the way that the audiences are receiving the movie. Yeah. And so, yeah, we use that as a specific language in our film.
Yeah, I love it. I think that's great. That's so deliberate is what I like about it.
Yeah. So yeah, and that's what I call to do your homework. To try to be efficient and within your limitations of your resources and everything. Try to be smart enough to use that in your favor. So yeah, that is my recommendation. And then also it had to be, as I said, with choosing the right team, the right crew. Everyone was so committed to the project that it was pretty easy to move fast, and especially when we had some troubles, some problems with the shooting, like things that we couldn't fix because nobody was expecting things that happened. We were able to regroup and with a smile in our head and on our faces, make the best decisions for the movie and move on. And yeah, and that was amazing. And at the same time, in a 15 days shoot like this, you have to go super fast. And even with 2 cameras, you have to shoot many, many hours every day. And you can only do that if all the team and the actors and everyone is super involved and committed to complete the movie. So, it's very important to choose everyone involved in the movie to make it happen, and then make sure that everyone who comes on board is aware of how fast and how concentrated they will have to be to complete the movie.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's again about doing your homework and can prepare and have the right people around you.
Right. It seems like that goes back to the main point of it all is getting that proper crew so that you can deal with all the chaos and the long days and all that stuff.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, everyone was exhausted, but at the same time with very happy and
satisfied.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that is great. So yeah, I think that we can move on to the post-production stage. And yeah, that is one of the moments where I feel more confident, because we, even at the beginning when we didn't know if we were going to be able to shoot this movie, we knew that if we were able to put it in the can, we will be able to have an amazing movie, because our post-production team, it's unbelievable. So we had these 2 editors, Alex Lora and Fernando Franco, who made an amazing ensemble. They are super good. And
these are folks you've worked with in the past that you already have a relationship with?
Yeah, with Fernando Franco is one of the top 3 editors in Spain. Okay. And he edited pretty much all my short films, everything. He's unbelievable, but the only problem is that he became a director. He's amazing as a director also.
Okay.
So he doesn't have the time and the energy now to go and edit a whole feature film.
Yeah.
So what I suggested him was okay, let me add another great editor, Alex Lora, that was the first time that I did work with him. He's based in New York. He's from Spain also. And so we worked together and made a first ensemble here in New York. And then I went to Spain and worked with Fernando Franco for 2 weeks. And he basically polished everything and made it look amazing. So especially with the dailies and the footage that we got, they made magic. They
did also the coloring, or that's separate?
No. They just made the final cut, and that's it. And then we took the EDL to User T38. That is an amazing post-production house in Madrid. And yeah, we work together in other projects. They are very used to work in international stuff. They work on this international movie, Mama. They work very often with Guillermo del Toro. They made this movie with Antonio Banderas, with robots. So they are great, creating a lot of amazing universes, and so they are super creative, very fun to work with. I would totally recommend anybody to work with them, because they are unbelievable.
Nice.
And I have to say, much more affordable than any other company at the level in the US.
Interesting. Nice.
Yeah, so 100% recommend it. So yeah, we went with them, and we had like a couple of VFX,
Yeah.
and then what happens with movies like this is like you you shoot so fast that you obviously cannot take care of every little detail. So, but thankfully we knew with every of those problems or mistakes that we were having when we were shooting that in post-production it was going to be pretty easy to fix them. So yeah, we were, shot by shot with the user team, and we were fixing every little detail, and they created the credits scene, the opening credits scene, and they made a wonderful job. They also made the color correction and the finishing and all the masters. So,
And as I'm listening to you, all I'm hearing in the background is dollar signs, more money, more, more. And I'm thinking to myself, how did you do it with 8 to 10? I believe you said in the beginning of investors, and they're all, my goodness, it seems like it got hard.
No. I mean, these guys from User are very reasonable. So, we had a budget with them that was very good when we were planning to shoot the movie for 1.5 million. So when we shoot it for a tiny part of that, they totally understood, and they wanted to be part of the film also. So, they made a budget according to that, and that was amazing. And
nice.
And the main thing, having someone like them, is that even if the budget it's super reasonable, they don't let your movie get out of their house until it's not exactly the way you want. So, I'm very thankful to them.
Yeah. I mean, it seems like an unbelievable asset to have, especially that they were able to work with the budget.
Yeah, but it's again, it's not about having a lot of money. By the way, I hope in my next movie having much bigger budget and be able to pay back in a way to everyone who has been involved pushing money. But it's more, for me, it has been more about being honest and tell them exactly where the project was, and basically telling the truth of the movie that we were able to make, and everyone made the decision if they wanted to be on board, and thankfully everyone who said yes, they brought their 100%. So
right.
It is like our sound designer and sound mixer, they are one of the best in Spain also, and we have been working with them for many years. So when I told them, guys, we have basically no money for this, and and they said, fuck it, let's do it, let's figure it out. So yeah, they came on board, and I always tell to myself and to others is that if you are doing something, try to do it if you were doing like Kubrick movie, like there's no difference between making a 1 minute short film and making a Hollywood movie. It's like you have to give your 100% with whatever you have in that moment, and hopefully that will pay off and put you in a position to make that Hollywood film with much more resources.
Right. Nice.
Mm-hmm. So in April 2016, the beginning of April, we finished the final mix, the final sound mix in Madrid, in an amazing location studio called Ad Hoc, and it is unbelievable. It's, I mean, the screenings and everything they have, it's like top level. They even can do like Atmos mixing, so they have one of the best sound studios in Spain, and I would say in Europe. So again, I hadn't had the opportunity to work with them before, but I told them, guys, this is what we have. We would love to do the final mixing here, but I totally understand that this is like a super luxury sound mixing place. So if you cannot work within our budget, I totally get it. And they said, no, let's do it. Let's just find like a gap in our schedule and
Did you have a relationship with them, or did you?
No,
didn't
but
know them?
no, but my sound designer had a previous relationship with them.
Right.
So what we did in order to save money, my sound designer made like a pre-mixing at his small studio.
Yeah.
Because his studio is just basically at his home, and that is designed to edit the sound and put all the elements, but not to do the final mix like in a theater, basically.
Sure.
And then we went just for 5 days to the final mix studio, and it was amazing to see your movie for the first time with the final picture and the final sound. It was unbelievable.
Oh, amazing.
Mm-hmm. And so yeah, and I think that puts us in the
Selling the movie.
Yes, selling the movie. And so as I said, we finished April last year, and one thing that we decided to do much earlier was to put the movie in film festival, or at least try to. And we knew that this movie was a commercial movie. It wasn't for me, it wasn't a very festival movie, but still we felt that it was worthy to try. So we got in touch with the Promo Fest, that is a distribution company for festivals for movies and short films.
Yeah.
And I mean, they are the best. I think that they have the Guinness record for most award short film or something. And so they know their thing very well. And you pay them like very little, and they send them the movie to a bunch of places. And they have like personal relationships with a lot of festivals, so they can avoid all the fees to shoot meet to many festivals. So at the end of the day, you are saving money more than spending money. And yeah, so we sent in the movie as soon as we had the first rough cut, I would say. So much earlier to have the final thing. And they started to shoot meet the movie to festivals, and even though I wasn't expecting to get into many film festivals, they got the movie into, I guess, at around 40 film festivals, and we won like 15 awards so far. So that was pretty exciting, because I wasn't expecting winning awards with this kind of commercial movie that we made to basically release everywhere. I mean, that was our dream, right?
Right.
So yeah, we did that, the strategy, the festival thing, and we went to many film festivals and we won awards. So I think that helped a bit to create some, people knew a little bit about our movie, and yeah, at least they knew that the movie existed. And also we got some press people working on the marketing of the movie for a couple of weeks or 3 weeks. We got some interesting articles in Variety and some other interesting publications in Spain.
Okay.
And I think that helped also. And then we went to some markets like the American Film Market or Berlin International Film Festival that have holds the European film market. And over there we got like several offers, several international sales agencies interested in the movie. When I think that we first showed them like a teaser, and then we showed them like a first cut of the movie, and we got like, I would say, 5 or 6 offers from international sales agencies, and some of them were offering like MGs that were like pretty big. Especially that MG would have covered pretty much all our budget, but we decided to go with Red Sea Media, and they did very well. They sold the movie to many territories in Middle East, Germany.
Oh, nice.
Some countries in Asia, and then my production partner at ITSAP went to Long Island Film Festival. Over there, Manny won the main award, and one person watched the movie. He fell in love with it, and he knew someone at 20th Century Fox, so he shared the movie with them. They liked it, and basically we got a contract, and they are releasing 20th Century Fox Home Video is releasing the movie pretty much in every country of the world starting next week.
Wow,
so
that's incredible.
It's gonna be huge for us, and also we got theatrical release in Spain, and a TV also got the rights over there, and then we got an SVOD platform that we cannot say the name yet.
Yeah.
But it's gonna release the movie in October worldwide. So, yeah, I mean,
that's pretty good, man, Martin. That's a success in my book.
yeah. I mean, we are gonna give back to the investors many times what they put in our movie.
Wow.
It's gonna be seen worldwide, hopefully for millions of people, and that would be like interesting push in our careers. And I mean, I'm already working in my second movie. It's almost ready to go, and yeah,
and the success of this is what you can use to sell the next one, obviously,
exactly.
from the investors.
Exactly.
Wow, amazing.
And also I'm starting to produce other people also, because as much as I love directing, it takes time. It takes 2 to 3 years to put together, first to find a script and story that you love, and then starting to put together the pieces. And I know so many super talented directors waiting for opportunities, and I have the feeling that every day I know more about producing, and I have more relationships and also more credibility, especially after everything that money is getting. So I think that at my level, I feel very confident of being able to help other amazing filmmakers to produce their films. And that's what I'm doing. That's actually next Monday we are starting filming in LA. Another movie directed by a Spanish director called David Martin Porras. The movie is called The Chain, and it's been written by David and André Rosende. And I mean, it's so many opportunities and so much talent that I want to support and to push. So it's a great moment to be an independent filmmaker, because I think that we never had so many.
I was going to say, I'm glad that you said that. It's such a great time because some people are looking at it sometimes from the negative standpoint. You know, they got so many cameras are cheap now, and everybody can make a movie, and there's so much competition, and every kid can make a movie now, and not everybody's doing good movies, and you know, all these kind of excuses. But really, I mean, there's all the positive sides, which is what you just got done saying. You know, and I just want to first of all just say thank you for putting together this presentation. I mean, it really was kind of like from A to Z of putting a feature film together, and I really love that you started with before the feature film, meaning you started talking about your short, which is what got everything going, and then we, you know, so it really is kind of like almost like a blueprint of, you know, here's how I did it, you know, and we can kind of follow some of those steps, and you know, start putting together our own feature.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm really thankful for your call and being able to explain how I did it. I know that every case and every project is different, and I just hope that you know, my experience can help somebody to make their movie happen. You know, and that's, I mean, that happens to me. I met so many people during the process, and I got inspired for many of the experience that they told me, that I feel that it's fair to share my story and how it did happen to me. And I know that it will be different in every other case, but I felt that it can be useful to share my story, and I hope that it helps someone.
Amazing, amazing. Martin Rosetta, everybody. Thank you so much, Martin, for taking the time and really, you know, putting something amazing for us together. I feel like it's given us a big boost, and almost like a step-by-step, you know, kind of like almost like a lesson plan on how to go about it. So thank you so much, Martin.
Thank you so much. My pleasure, Abid.
Okay, everybody, get on out there and put a lot of this to use. As you saw, there's a lot of very practical information in there, so make sure to put it to use. I think that with what Martin has brought to us today, you can definitely see that getting your own feature film off the ground is doable. So take all his points that he put together for us and put it to use, and we will see you at the next presentation.